everyone. You're welcome to another episode of Physio Nextdoor podcast. My name is Jennifer Chukwu and I am your host. On today's episode of Physio Nextdoor podcast, we're going to be considering an interesting topic, and it is women and exercises. I'm not going to be discussing this alone, as I have a special and amazing guest who will be discussing this with me. I want to tell you a fun fact about my guest. Guess, like just guess. Okay, so she reached out to say she wanted to join us on our next episode. Isn't that beautiful? Please celebrate her. Okay, so I want to welcome to Physio Nextdoor podcast, Madwako Doris.
Thank you, Jennifer, for that warm introduction, and thank you for having me on your podcast today. It is an amazing privilege to be here.
Thank you so much for honoring us with your presence.
And the pleasure is mine.
All right, so today we're talking about women and exercises, and I find it interesting and exciting, maybe because I'm a woman, right? So I want to know, do you have like an exercise routine? Let me know if I'm the only one that doesn't have.
Well, you got me there quite early. An exercise routine, not really, but there is something I do every week, at least 3 times a week. I take a long walk, 1 hour, 30 minutes, and make sure I get myself all sweaty so that I could be active.
Oh, okay, that's important. So, but before we delve into other things, let's even talk about what exercise is.
Okay. Layman term would say exercise is a physical activity, but it's not just a physical activity. It's a physical activity with an aim, which is mental and the physical well-being. So exercise is not just an activity in itself. It's an activity that has an aim to better one's mental health as well as physical health.
Amazing. So does that mean one cannot do... that could be an aim too. I mean, doing exercises for fun.
Oh, well, you can do exercise for fun, but there is an intentionality with exercise. There is an intention. I'm doing this for my health. I'm doing this to get better. I'm doing this for this reason. Yes. And that's what makes it exercise.
Amazing. So, you talked about the work you do intentionally every week. It just reminds me how I sometimes use that to console myself. I remember there was a time I was trying to create a structure for my morning routine. So I ended up watching a lot of YouTube videos. Yeah, and for most of the ones I watched, you would always see that they incorporated exercise to their routine, and I'm like, okay, when do I want to have time to do that? When I have to rush up, to work and all of that. But one thing I used to console myself is the fact that there's a particular bus stop I alight before walking down to my workplace. So I'm like, okay, at least I walk. So it's something.
Yeah,
it's just something I used to console myself. All right, so let's now look into what about people that don't even take intentional steps to do any physical activity at all? What's like the detrimental aspect of that? Or in other words, we can say, what's the importance of getting into exercise or physical activity?
Okay, importance of physical activity or exercise.
Yeah.
I do not want to substitute physical activity for exercise. Let exercise be exercise. So importance of exercise is numerous. And in this case, we are talking about women. I want to quickly make a clear definition. A woman is an adult female, someone who is above 19 years of age, according to the World Health Organization definition of who a woman is. And so, how does exercise affect a woman, and why should a woman exercise? Exercise has so many benefits for a woman. It's helps with cardiovascular diseases, helps with memory retention. It also helps one to keep fit, and overall mental cognition and even mental health. And all these are important to live, to survive in this world. Yeah. So those are the importance why a woman should exercise.
Okay. So is there like a difference? Because you said, you didn't want to interchange exercise for physical activity. Is there like a difference?
Physical activity just anything you do physically, right?
Yeah.
But like I said, there is an intention behind exercise, and the
Okay.
intention is to be fit mentally and physically.
Okay.
Physical activity is part of it, but it's not.
It's more random.
It's yes, it's just so broad. Exercise is definite. Yes, more structured, and that is why you have different videos on YouTube, showing you different exercise routine, things you can do, and some exercises are structured towards some particular conditions, yes, or ailment. So you cannot just put everything in a broad time as a physical activity. Yeah.
That's very true. So now let's go to, examples of these exercises. So, but then I want us to start with simple exercises that one can do in their home, Yeah.
Examples of exercises, one would be aerobic exercises. It could be swimming, dancing, whatever it is that makes you move. Most aerobic exercises, swimming and of course dancing, and then you can go for high intensity exercises. Those ones has to do with muscle and all of those ones you see people do at the gym, and yeah. And then you could also go for the normal ones, running, taking a brisk walk, and jogging. Yeah, those are different. And then calisthenics, those ones that ends up down, and all of it. Yes, you can also incorporate that. It's also part of exercise.
Okay. So that's amazing. So we're just going to be looking at a particular aspect and mentioning exercises that are focused in that aspect. We talked about how exercise is more structured, like it's for this, to achieve this. I'll just look at a condition that is, I don't want to call it common. I don't want to say depression is a common thing, but let's look at depression. So let's look at exercises that can help to alleviate depression and improve one's mental health.
Yes, depression, if one is clinically classified as being depressed, one thing is sure, the person would be placed on drugs, right?
Okay.
So exercise is not exactly what would help the depression to go away. You need to see a psychiatrist, do the necessary things. But then for quality of life and to get better and to take yourself out of it, I think you can start with the little things around you. Listen to music rather, that make you feel good, and just move your body to them. Remember the good times, and it's part of it. And then you can take some Christians. I would put, they listen to podcast while they take long walks.
Okay.
These are part of the things people can incorporate into their daily lives that would help them to come out of difficult situations like depressions.
So now we are going to be looking at, our focus is on women, right? And should I say, like in the African culture now, there's this thing about, if not that, I think the narrative is gradually changing. Else, there's this thing about women being more involved in the house chores and, say, childcare. So, and, when a woman is that busy with other things, taking care of others, she may not even remember to take care of herself. And exercising is a way of taking care of yourself because you're aiming towards being physically fit and mentally fit. So aside those two, are there other barriers we can look at? Things that really, that do not allow people to go into exercise as much as they should.
Okay, talking about barriers, things that reasons why some women do not exercise. Let's not generalize and say people, some women. You have mentioned one, household duties. If we're talking about Nigeria in this context, it's still a developing country, and there are other things like access to health facilities and access to gym. I mean, it's not easy for people, even in offices, they don't even have it yet. And of course, the sedentary lifestyle. Some women, in a bid to stay closer to their kids, take up remote works. And now it makes them to, just be in one place, and that too. And then the fact that women have to stay with the kids and all, we can look into that. And poverty sometimes can have a way of affecting how a woman is able to take care of herself. Not Beyond that, one's education to has a lot to if you're well educated, I should exercise, I should do this. And if the amount of education that a woman has is what she's going to act on and work on. So sometimes one's educational level limits one's knowledge about how to take care of themselves through exercise.
Okay. And that's one of the reasons we are hosting a podcast like this, to educate people on the importance of, okay, now, not people, let me just be focused, educate women on the importance of exercise to their physical health and mental health. So we talked about poverty for people. For poverty, does that mean it's necessary that one has to be registered with a gym, or one can just decide to do simple things?
Yeah, for poverty, when your head is just filled with, let me just get the basic, let me eat, when would you even have time to? And then the options you have to what you have to eat, are they really healthy for you? You're not even thinking towards exercise in that case. But I'm not saying you have to have money, because even money itself can be an hindrance. I was reading a study and it says women that have access to money exercise do not really exercise, because they move around with their cars and they are always busy attending one meeting or the other. So you see,
it in a way encourages sedentary lifestyle.
Not just the sedentary lifestyle, because the wealth itself, it's not in alliance with how they can, so that's why exercise is something intentional. You have to incorporate it into your lifestyle at whatever level you are. You must intentionally say, you see, as a woman, I must exercise. So that's what I think about it.
That's good. So now we'll just move on to tips. Let's share tips to women on how they can break these barriers. For the person who has, let's say, a lot of money, and then maybe somehow there's machine to do this, there's car to move here, there's this for this and that. So how we should do it? For the person who is battling with a lot of thoughts because of food and all of that, how? And then the person who has a lot of responsibilities, you have to cook, you have to take care of your children and all of that. How does she balance things up to be able to incorporate intentionally exercise to her routine?
Okay, tips to exercise. But quickly, I would like to digress a little, talking about importance of exercise. Maybe I was just picking big grammar when I was talking about cardiovascular and memory retention and cognition. Now, I would like to say, as a woman who is, who menstruates, and also after that, the post menopausal period. These terms we are used to it, I agree, right? We all agree, we know this. So every month, your mood keeps changing up and down. So like some of us even have intense premenstrual cramps and then ovulation cramp. So in a month, 2 weeks out of that 4 weeks in a month, you are not yourself. So I do not know how to emphasize this. Exercise is important so that you can regulate the hormones in our body. When you exercise, I think there's this hormone called endorphins, right? Which you release from your body. It makes you feel good. Beyond that feeling good, if you incorporate it into your lifestyle, you will be able to, release an hormone called serotonin. Okay, that makes it's just an hormone of the long term. You are just in that good state of mind, physically, mentally. You are able to take up stress such that your stress level can be contained. And already as a woman, you have to work twice as hard for things. So you cannot not exercise. It's important for you to exercise because you're taking up the stress of work, stress of family. How do you cope with this if you don't find a way to exercise? Not to talk about the biological factors that are moving you up and down, changing your mood and everything. So you just have to exercise. Find a way, anyhow you want to do it. Make it something you do. So tips to exercise, right?
Yes.
Start from where you are. You do not need to go to the gym. You can incorporate that later as it goes on, but begin from where you are. Begin from your room. Get yourself a skipping rope. Do something. It could be 30 minutes. I think the World Health Institute an average of 150 to 300 minutes a week physical activity exercise is recommended for every adult, women inclusive. Okay, so if you cannot meet the 300 minutes goal of every week activating your body, start from the 150. Do something. Take a walk from your junction to the next junction. Look around you, see things around you, take a walk, dance. You play music on your phone, dance, sweat it out. 20 minutes, it is something. The hormones you release then make you feel happy. You can, and then you're able to take up new projects. So you start from where you are, and then as it goes on, you can create a smart plan. That's a goal for it, depending on your needs. If you're doing the exercise because you're obese and you need to lose some weight, you need to intensify it as time goes on, but you just need to begin right from where you are. Take that walk, take that jump, get the skipping rope, and do things you can right where you are. You are mopping the house, do some dance as you are mopping. Do something, just keep moving. Don't just be in one place. Yeah.
Wow, amazing. And I think I would like to make a contribution for people who battle with, say, lots of responsibility, childcare, house chores, cooking, and all of that. I mean, your partner, maybe even if they don't understand the importance of exercise, as a woman who gets to watch this and has gotten the knowledge of why it is important for you as a woman, you can share the knowledge with your partner. I mean, let them know so that you people can just structure things. If there's a way they can share the activities, or maybe get a help, so that you would find time for yourself, and benefit from exercises. Yeah. So we've considered a lot, and I mean, I must say this has been rich.
Thank you.
This has been rich. Thank you so much. So what will you tell somebody who has just finished listening to us and the person is like, do you know what? I'm motivated, I'm inspired, I want to start. Where do I start from? How do I start?
Oh, just like I said previously or earlier, start already. You could get yourself an accountability partner. Once you want to go far, you need a partner. There's a way they say these things. If you want to go far, go with someone. Okay, so you need a partner. You could get yourself an accountability partner. See, this is what I aim to do. Please remind me. I will remind you too, and we could help each other. Two good heads are better than one. Yeah. So, and like I said, just start, because there's a way your body will be doing you in your room. You just know, I just need to take that walk. There is a way you will just be feeling all your mood. You're just in a bad mood. Get yourself out, take the walk and come back. So you start, then gradually you create a goal. You have, just like creating a smart goal, you have to be sincere enough. Your goal has to be specific, measurable, something you can achieve, okay? And it also has to be realistic and time bound. You see why exercise is not just something you can just call any physical activity, because it has to be realistic, and it has to, something you can do. So start, create a goal, be disciplined. Consistency is the key. You have to be consistent. Like, once you begin, just put it in your head. If I start 2 days, I can do 3 days. So I have a short plan. Okay. Yes. So if you're just a starter, a beginner, let's say Monday you do 30-minute walk. Okay. On Tuesday you rest. I've done something. Then you just, Wednesday you move again. 10-minute walk. Then add some high intensity to it. Maybe some jumps, some push-up. 10 push-up, 10 sit-up, and all other things that help to build the muscle. Then on Thursday, you can take a rest again. Then on Friday, a longer walk, 40 minutes walk. This time, you could even go to places with higher region, like climbing a mountain. You could hike. And what day is the next? Saturday, you can just be in your room and dance. You don't need to go out. I did something wonderful. Imagine hiking the other day. It's a big deal. So just stay in your room, dance, and then on Sunday, take that walk again. And before you know, why do you think they call some people gym rats? Because they have to be there. Like, you see Kate Henshaw? You see how she's always there. That thing makes like, I just have to be there. And
thought
so
of it alone motivates
it's the
her.
endorphins. That's it's you get what you want, and you get relief, and then you're just in good mental state. Nothing pisses you off so easily. Your cortisol level is is managed, and you are able to balance your work life. You're able to have a work life balance. Yes. So that's the tip I know that may probably help.
Wow, that's really amazing. I believe that these tips will be helpful. And I just remembered when you mentioned the skipping, I remembered my mother. Hey, shout out, mom. So when I was growing up, we used to do skipping together. I mean, I just realized how much we actually were intentional about it. It's just that somehow I dropped the intentionality, so I didn't really continue. But then what I'm saying is, as a mother, right, you can incorporate that in your children. You can do activities with them.
Oh,
You know,
sure.
skipping, there are times when we did skip together. She was taller, so she would be the one holding it while we skipped together. Sometimes we just wear our gym wear, go out, do some jogging and all of that. So it's also necessary that you instill these habits in your children as early as possible. So yeah, we've discussed a lot, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you so much for sharing all you've shared with us. I want to believe that all these tips and all we've discussed will be helpful to every woman out there. In case you are a man and of course you come across this, please share with your female friends and let them know that this is important. Just take some intentional steps towards it and you definitely get the result. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Physio Nextdoor podcast titled Women and Exercises. I am Jennifer Chukwu, and my guest that joined us today is
Madva Kodoris.
Thank you so much.
Thank you once
Bye.
more. Bye.